Hey everyone, today we'll do an Edgeguard guide. I know it's been a long time since you guys have been asking that, and since this is a Puff metagame channel, we will focus on Jigglypuff situations and example, but this guide can be useful for pretty much everyone that wishes to improve his Edgeguarding, so feel free to stick around and let's get going. Did you know that Smash was actually inspired by sumo fights? The main goal is to actually push their opponent off stage or throw them off stage, and when you think about it, Smash is like not a traditional fighting game in the sense there is no health bar, but rather ejection ratio that actually helps you eject and push your opponent off stage. So in this video, I'll discuss several core elements of Edgeguarding. First, what is Edgeguards? What option does your opponent have? What tools do you have? Successful Edgeguards as Jigglypuff, and the common mistakes during Edgeguarding and how to fix them. On a side note, I'm also starting a video series where I will explain how to Edgeguard specific characters as Jigglypuff, and this will be member only on YouTube, so feel free to become a member starting at $2 a month to have access to that kind of specific videos. What is Edgeguarding? Well, the name says it all. Edgeguarding is all about guarding the edge and preventing your opponent from coming back on stage. A successful Edgeguard can take the stock from your opponent at very low percent, so it's very important. Even a miss Edgeguard can be interesting because being in this advantageous state, you will keep racking up percent on your opponent, but missing an Edgeguard can be very dangerous. You will lose total stage control to your opponent. Edgeguarding is mostly reacting to what your opponent does. It's very important to focus on their options. When they get thrown off stage, every single character has some option, and we'll discuss that. Double jump or multi-jump. It's a non-refillable resource until they touch the ground. It's a very precious resource, and you can see that when they use it, there is like this kind of small effect that you can see. When you start focusing on trying to see it, you will start seeing it. If this effect appears, it means your opponent doesn't have a double jump anymore. If the effect appears and you just hit them out of it, it means they don't have a double jump. So it's very important to take note of that. The directional or neutral air dodge, it's a reusable resource on hit, meaning they get one. If you hit them, they get one more, okay? And it can be used to grab the ledge directly or to avoid some attacks. There is the special moves, so it's very character specific, but some characters use their special move to actually recover. I think the most notorious example would be the Spaces, where they have a side B and an up B. Whether or not it's reusable, refillable, depends on character. For example, ZSS has a very good down B that lets the flip kick, that lets her do, and this move is actually refillable on coming back to the ground. At any moment, you need to be aware of what option your opponent has and what option it doesn't have. And this is very important since this is what will dictate and define what you will actually do. Your tools. What are your tools? You usually have the same option as your opponent. You don't really use this option the same way, and I would rather talk about tools rather than options. So what are Puff's tools to actually Edgeguard? Well, she has the best air mobility in the game, very useful when it comes to Edgeguarding. She has 5 jumps, 5 double jump, and a very good directional air dodge to actually recover on stage. Note that she doesn't have the up B that is usable to recover on stage, but the directional air dodge upwards is very what is Puff's up B in this game. She has several lingering hitbox and multi-hits, fair, nair, pound, down air, all of that are lingering hitbox, so really good. And she has low knockback aerials that actually combo into themselves. Successful Edgeguards as Jigglypuff. You've just thrown your opponent off stage and suddenly it's money time. Now, how would you approach this Edgeguard situation as Puff? Well, obviously it's going to be character specific, and there is a side series of video that is coming soon for members. subscribe as well. I don't know, man, that's YouTube, sorry about that. And yeah, even if it's character specific, there is still very, very core ideas that are common, and we'll discuss them. At any point, I want you to stay between the stage is here, your opponent is here, and you need to stay in between your opponent and the stage. This is super, super, super important. This is the main mistake, by the way, we'll discuss later, but this is the main mistake people do when it comes to edgeguarding. They don't stay between the stage and their opponent. So what I want you to do is to draw a line in your mind, and your role will be to actually protect this line and don't let your opponent cross this line. So first, your positioning. This is super important during edgeguard. Is like the main thing that will decide whether or not it's a successful edgeguard. And there are two very, very, very strong positions that you can hold as puff during edgeguard. And I want you to imagine a square. And in this square, draw 4 squares. And you want to be diagonally opposed to your opponent. You want to be in this one. If he is in this one, you want to be on this one. This is super important. And these two situations, these two positions, it's a very nice spot to actually catch options. The one above your opponent and is a bit stronger than the other one, but we will see that the other one has usefulness as well. And yeah, that's a very strong position that lets you catch your opponent's option very well. Especially, so the one where you're actually lower than your opponent, you should use when your opponent doesn't have a multi-jump or a double jump left. If you are higher than your opponent and they jump, you have the time to actually react and just like jump alongside, come air to air, but since you are higher than them, you will be able to catch them and to just fair on air. And this is a death sentence for them, since you will push them off stage. You will often be able to combo your fair on air with some other fair on air. That's it, they don't have a double jump left, and you just landed your first successful edgeguard. So good on you. The second successful tip I can give you for Jigglypuff is to use your lingering hitboxes to cut their trajectory. Okay, most characters they fall pretty fast in this game. Like Ultimate is a game where the gravity is pretty strong, and it's very easy to actually learn the drift your opponent character have, and to get a good idea where they will be like in the next 0.5 seconds. And that's exactly where you want to pre-shot an hitbox and put an hitbox in the spot where they will be in the next 0.5 seconds. That's actually the best Jigglypuff advice I can give you. Think about the 0.5 seconds in the future, where your opponent will be, and pre-shot an hitbox here. It's actually very, very strong. Since you are pre-shotting your hitbox, you will often, especially with Nair or forward air, you will hit a very, very late hitbox, which is low knockback, and you'll be able to combo. You can use forward air, you can use Nair, but you can use Pound as well. Pound is really good for that and is underused by Jigglypuff players. Even at higher percent, it will maybe not get you the kill, but it will reset the edgeguard, which is pretty much good as well. Use the lingering hitboxes to actually beat the special move. I mean, this is character specific, and this will be discussed during the character specific videos. Catch the air dodges with down air. Down air is actually such a great move that is also underused by puffs during edgeguards, and it's terrifying in the sense like, if you do a down air facing right, and you do it with backwards momentum, it will just catch pretty much any air dodge in this deal. This will just reset the edgeguard. This is gonna be terrifying, because hitting a good down air, no matter how close to the stage they are, it probably means they're dead. One other thing I would like to tell you, as tool, you can use the soft fair towards the ledge as Jigglypuff, and there is a very easy setup to do that, is to jump off stage, do a back air immediately, and then pre-shot a forward air when you're a bit higher than your opponent. When they recover low, it's actually a good way to not make them tech, but to interrupt them from their up B. and this can be very useful on characters like Carol, Fox, Spaces in general. So it's pretty good, and even I should be using that more. Okay, now let's talk about common errors and mistakes while edgeguarding as Jigglypuff. The first one, and we've discussed that a lot in this video, is trying to hit the current position of your opponent instead of where they will be in the next 0.5 seconds. This is super important because this will lead you to whiff moves, whiff attacks, and this is so bad. This is just bad, straight up bad, because if you do that, whiffing a move with Jigglypuff is actually pretty much guaranteeing you to actually miss your edgeguard. And since Jigglypuff is a character where edgeguarding is actually where you get the stocks from your opponent, it's super important to actually have a good success rate on your edgeguard. And definitely, let me tell you that going way too far and trying to hit your opponent where they currently are is the best way to miss your edgeguard as Jigglypuff. 0.5 seconds, pre-shot, lingering in boxes, and there you go. The second mistake, not holding the line, is actually something many and most people do. Trust me that holding a line is actually so powerful, because the fact that you can wobble in the air as Jigglypuff in this game means that they will need to find a way to pass through you, and this is such an underestimated, underused kind of way of edgeguarding. And even from top buff players, I can see that sometimes they don't hold the line while they should be, and just hold the line, protect the line, get the stocks. Alright, that was my edgeguarding guide. I hope you actually enjoyed that. I hope it gave you some interesting tips and stuff that you can use as Jigglypuff or maybe as other characters. The concept, I think, are similar. It's just like tools specific, and I hope you will actually benefit from this guide. Let me know in the comments if you actually enjoyed that. Put a like, put a comment. It's very important for the algorithm, but also for me, because I'm doing it for you, and this is your direct feedback, which I'm always happy to hear about. Subscribe to this channel, almost 2K. The video series about character specific stuff will begin very soon. In the first episode, I will do Mario, Donkey Kong, and Link. That will be the 3 characters that I will be covering and explaining how to edgeguard. Then it will be the members in the comment that will actually ask for specific characters. And yeah, that's it. Thank you to the members on screen. We had a pretty good month since the downer guide on members, and yeah, this helps the channel. Very highly appreciated, and thank you for your support. But you can also, by the way, support the channel in other ways, and commenting, being a subscriber, a daily watcher. That actually helps a lot as well. So follow me on Twitter. I don't say that often, but I don't say that enough, I guess. But Twitter is often a place where I send a lot of meta Jigglypuff stuff that I don't really send to YouTube. So yeah, at UltimateJin, join the Discord, and see you later.